A desperate plea. In the heart of the sprawling Galactic Federation headquarters, Talia Moore strode through the marbled halls with a sense of purpose. As Earth's ambassador to the Federation, she had fought tirelessly to ensure her homeworld's voice was heard among the cacophony of alien races that made up the Interstellar Alliance. Talia's communicator chimed urgently, drawing her attention. With a tap, a holographic image sprang to life, revealing the face of a Zorax diplomat. The insectoid being's multifaceted eyes shimmered with desperation as it spoke. "Ambassador Moore, we need your help. The Kryn Empire is preparing to invade our homeworld. We are a peaceful race, unprepared for war. Earth is our only hope." A chill ran down Talia's spine. The Kryn were notorious for their brutal conquests and subjugation of weaker species. She had heard the whispered stories of entire civilizations crushed beneath the Empire's iron fist. The Zorax, with their gentle nature and advanced philosophical teachings, would stand no chance against such a foe. "I will bring your plea before the Galactic Council," Talia assured the diplomat. "Earth will not stand idly by while the Kryn threaten the peace of the galaxy." As the hologram faded, Talia set her jaw in determination. She knew the Council would be reluctant to intervene, preferring to maintain the status quo and avoid direct confrontation with the Kryn. But Earth had a secret, a hidden ace up its sleeve that could change the balance of power forever. Talia entered the Grand Council chamber, where representatives from 100 worlds were gathered. The room buzzed with a multitude of languages and the clicking of various appendages. She made her way to the central podium, drawing the attention of the assembled delegates. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Talia began, her voice ringing clear. "I come before you today with grave news. The Kryn Empire has set its sights on the peaceful Zorax homeworld. If we do not act, an entire civilization will be lost." Murmurs rippled through the chamber, some tinged with fear, others with apathy. A reptilian delegate from the Saurian Confederacy hissed, "The Zorax are not part of the Federation. Why should we risk war with the Kryn on their behalf?" Talia fixed the Saurian with a steely gaze. "Because if we allow the Kryn to continue their unchecked aggression, no one in this galaxy will be safe. Today it is the Zorax, tomorrow it could be any one of our worlds." She paused, letting her words sink in before delivering her bombshell. "But there is hope. Earth is prepared to send its own fleet to defend the Zorax." The chamber erupted in a chorus of skeptical laughter. The human race was a newcomer to the galactic stage, their technology considered primitive compared to the ancient starfaring civilizations. An insectoid delegate chittered mockingly, "Earth has a fleet? Your kind has barely mastered interstellar travel. What ships could you possibly send against the might of the Kryn?" Talia smiled enigmatically. "Appearances can be deceiving. For decades, Earth has been developing a secret fleet of advanced warships, hidden from prying eyes. Our technology may surprise you." She tapped a command on her communicator, and a holographic display burst to life above the council floor. Sleek, angular vessels with shimmering hulls rotated slowly, their design unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Gasps of astonishment and murmurs of disbelief filled the air. "These are the Pride of Sol-class dreadnoughts," Talia explained, a note of pride in her voice. "Equipped with Earth's most cutting-edge weapons and defenses. A single one of these ships could take on a Kryn battle group and emerge victorious." The chamber was silent, the delegates struggling to process this revelation. Talia pressed on, her voice filled with conviction. "Earth offers these ships to defend the Zorax and stand as a bulwark against Kryn aggression. We ask only that the Council supports us in this endeavor, to show the galaxy that the Federation will not tolerate tyranny." As the Council descended into heated debate, Talia stood tall and resolute. She knew this was just the beginning, that Earth's decision to reveal its hidden strengths would have far-reaching consequences. But she also knew that it was the right thing to do. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity would no longer watch from the sidelines, but would stand at the forefront of defending the innocent and safeguarding peace. With a final, determined nod to the assembled delegates, Talia strode from the chamber, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Earth's secret fleet was about to be put to the test, and the galaxy would never be the same. The gathering storm. Admiral Jace Hammond stood on the observation deck of the EDS Invictus, his steely gaze fixed on the endless expanse of stars before him. The Pride of Sol-class dreadnought was the crown jewel of Earth's secret fleet, a marvel of human ingenuity and determination. And now, for the first time, it would be put to the ultimate test. As he watched the holographic displays flicker with real-time data from across the galaxy, Jace couldn't help but feel a sense of pride mixed with trepidation. He had dedicated his life to shaping Earth's hidden space forces, driven by an unwavering belief that humanity needed to be ready for whatever threats lurked among the stars. But now that the moment had finally arrived, the weight of responsibility hung heavy on his shoulders. Jace's thoughts were interrupted by the hiss of the observation deck doors opening behind him. He turned to see his second-in-command, Captain Lena Sorensen, striding towards him with purpose. "Admiral," Lena said crisply, snapping off a salute. "The fleet is ready. All ships report green status across the board." Jace nodded, a flicker of pride in his eyes. "Good. And our destination?" "Zorax Prime," Lena confirmed. "Ambassador Moore's intel suggests the Kryn armada is already massing on the edge of the system. If we don't get there soon." She trailed off, the implication hanging heavy in the air. Jace's jaw tightened. "Then we'd better not waste any more time. Set a course for Zorax space, maximum velocity." As Lena relayed the orders, Jace turned back to the viewport, his mind racing. He knew that engaging the Kryn head-on was a risky move. Earth's ships might be technologically superior, but the Kryn had numbers on their side. And in war, numbers could often be the deciding factor. But there was no other choice. The Zorax were counting on them, and Earth had made a promise. Failure was not an option. Light years away, in the heart of the Galactic Council, Talia Moore fought a different kind of battle. In the days since her shocking revelation of Earth's hidden fleet, the political landscape had shifted dramatically. Some species, like the noble Zaelar and the cunning Xynth, had openly pledged their support for Earth's stand against the Kryn. Others, like the mercantile Borodon and the isolationist Chular, remained stubbornly neutral, unwilling to risk their own interests. And then there were those who saw Earth's actions as a threat to their own power. The Saurian Confederacy, long a rival of humanity, had been quick to denounce Talia's declaration as a dangerous provocation. The Kryn themselves had remained ominously silent, their only response a chilling message that promised retribution for any interference in their rightful conquest. Talia navigated this treacherous web of alliances and animosities with a diplomat's skill, trading favors and forging compromises behind closed doors. She knew that Earth could not stand alone against the full might of the Kryn Empire. They needed allies, and she was determined to find them. But even as she worked tirelessly to build a coalition, Talia couldn't shake the sense of unease that gnawed at her. The Kryn were not known for their mercy or restraint. If they truly believed that Earth posed a threat to their ambitions, they would stop at nothing to eliminate that threat. And with each passing day, the drums of war grew louder. As the Pride of Sol sped through the void, racing towards its rendezvous with destiny, Jace Hammond found himself haunted by a single question: would they be enough? Earth's ships were untested in real combat, their crews brave but inexperienced. The Kryn, by contrast, were battle-hardened veterans, their ships honed by centuries of conquest and bloodshed. But there could be no turning back now. The die had been cast, the challenge issued. Earth had declared to the galaxy that it would no longer stand idly by while the strong preyed upon the weak. And now, on the edge of Zorax space, that declaration would be put to the ultimate test. As the first reports of Kryn ships entering the system began to filter in, Jace felt a cold sense of focus settle over him. This was what he had trained for, what he had dedicated his life to. The Kryn thought they could bully and intimidate their way across the galaxy, crushing any who dared to stand in their way. But they had never faced an opponent like Earth before. They had never faced the courage, the determination, the sheer stubborn will of the human spirit. And as Jace watched the holographic displays light up with the signatures of Kryn warships, he allowed himself a tight smile. The galaxy was about to learn what humanity was truly capable of. The pride of soul was about to show the Kryn the true meaning of resolve. And in the fires of battle, a new legend would be forged, the legend of Earth's secret fleet, and the indomitable spirit of the men and women who crewed it. The line in the stars. The void of space erupted in a dazzling display of light and fury as the Pride of Soul fleet emerged from hyperspace on the edge of the Zorax system. Admiral Jace Hammond gripped the command console as the EDS Invictus shuddered beneath him, its advanced inertial dampeners straining against the sudden deceleration. "Status report," he barked, his eyes darting across the holographic displays. "All ships accounted for," Captain Lena Sorensen reported crisply. "Shields at full strength, weapon systems online and charged." Jace nodded, his gaze fixed on the tactical readout. The Kryn armada hung in space before them, a bristling wall of metal and menace. At its center, the massive form of a Kryn dreadnought loomed like a predator among prey, its hull encrusted with the scars of countless battles. "Admiral, we're being hailed by the Kryn flagship," the communications officer reported, a note of tension in her voice. Jace's jaw tightened. On screen, the holographic display shimmered and resolved into the image of a Kryn warrior, its chitinous exoskeleton gleaming in the harsh light of the bridge. The creature's compound eyes fixed on Jace with a cold, appraising stare. "This is General Vortok of the Kryn Imperial Fleet," the alien rasped, its voice a grating buzz. "You are trespassing in Kryn space. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." Jace met the Kryn's gaze unflinchingly. "This is Admiral Jace Hammond of the Earth Defense Fleet. We are here in defense of the Zorax people, who have requested our aid against your unprovoked aggression. Stand down and return to your own territory, or we will be forced to take action." Vortok's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. Unprovoked aggression? The Zorax are weak, their resources ripe for the taking. It is the way of the galaxy, human. The strong take what they want, and the weak perish. Jace's eyes narrowed. Not today. With a flick of his hand, he severed the communication link. The bridge crew looked to him expectantly, tension etched on every face. "This is it," Jace said, his voice steady. "This is what we've trained for. The Kryn think they can bully their way across the galaxy, crushing anyone who stands in their way. Today, we show them the error of their ways." He turned to Lena, resolve burning in his eyes. "Signal the fleet. Assume defensive formation around Zorax Prime. And prepare to engage the enemy." As the Pride of Soul ships moved into position, the Kryn armada began to advance, their ships bristling with weapons. Jace watched the tactical display, his heart pounding in his chest. This was the moment of truth, the ultimate test of Earth's secret fleet. "Enemy ships entering weapons range," the tactical officer reported, her voice tight. Jace nodded. "Weapons free. Let's show them what we're made of." The void erupted in a maelstrom of fire and light as the two fleets clashed. The Pride of Soul ships moved with fluid grace, their advanced engines allowing them to dance around the lumbering Kryn vessels. Beams of searing energy lanced out from the human ships, slicing through the Kryn's shields like a scalpel through flesh. But the Kryn were far from defenseless. Their ships were armed with powerful plasma cannons and missile batteries, and they unleashed them with ruthless efficiency. The EDS Dauntless, a heavy cruiser at the forefront of the formation, shuddered under a barrage of plasma fire, its shields flickering dangerously. "The Dauntless is taking heavy damage," Lena reported, her face grim. Jace gritted his teeth. Divert additional power to their shields. And order the Falcon and the Tigress to flank that Kryn battleship, hit it with everything they've got. The Invictus shuddered as a volley of missiles impacted against its shields, the bridge lighting up with warning indicators. Jace gripped the command console, his knuckles white. They were giving as good as they got, but the Kryn's numbers were starting to tell. For every enemy ship they destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. "Admiral, the Zorax defense fleet is engaging the Kryn," the communications officer reported suddenly, hope and disbelief mingling in her voice. Jace's eyes widened as he saw the signatures of dozens of Zorax ships entering the fray, their sleek, crystalline hulls shimmering in the light of the battle. The Zorax were renowned for their advanced energy shielding technology, and their ships moved with a fluid, almost organic grace that made the Kryn look clumsy by comparison. "The Zorax are hailing us," the communications officer said, a smile spreading across her face. Jace nodded, a sense of relief washing over him. "Put them through." The image of a Zorax commander appeared on the screen, its multifaceted eyes shining with determination. "Admiral Hammond, this is Commander Xyloth of the Zorax Defense Force. We thank you for your courage and your sacrifice. Your actions have bought us the time we needed to mobilize our own fleet. Now, let us fight together, and show the Kryn the true strength of unity." Jace felt a surge of pride and gratitude swell in his chest. "We're with you, Commander. Let's finish this." As the Zorax ships joined the fray, the tide of battle began to turn. The Kryn, caught off guard by this unexpected reinforcement, found themselves outflanked and outmaneuvered. Their ships exploded in brilliant bursts of plasma and debris, unable to withstand the combined firepower of the human and Zorax fleets. And at the heart of it all, the EDS Invictus stood tall, its shields battered but unbroken, its weapons blazing with righteous fury. Jace Hammond watched as the last Kryn dreadnought erupted in a ball of fire, a sense of grim satisfaction washing over him. They had done it. Against all odds, against the might of an empire that had terrorized the galaxy for centuries, they had held the line. Earth and the Zorax had stood together, and they had emerged victorious. But even as the cheers of his crew filled the bridge, Jace knew that this was only the beginning. The Kryn would not take this defeat lightly. They would be back, with even greater numbers and even more ruthless tactics. And beyond the Kryn, there were other dangers lurking in the shadows of the galaxy. Other empires and factions that would see Earth's emergence as a threat to their own power, and stop at nothing to snuff it out. But for now, in this moment of triumph and solidarity, none of that mattered. Earth had shown the galaxy what it was capable of, and forged an alliance that would stand the test of time. And as Jace Hammond looked out at the stars, he knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, humanity would face them with the same courage, determination, and unity that had carried them to victory today. Revelations and Repercussions. In the aftermath of the Battle of Zorax Prime, a stunned silence hung over the Galactic Council chambers. The assembled delegates stared in disbelief at the holographic displays, which showed the shattered remnants of the once mighty Kryn armada drifting through space, interspersed with the triumphant forms of Earth and Zorax ships. For Talia Moore, Earth's ambassador to the Council, it was a moment of vindication and relief. She had gambled everything on the strength and resolve of her homeworld's secret fleet, and that gamble had paid off in spectacular fashion. But even as she savored the taste of victory, Talia knew that the real challenge was just beginning. The revelation of Earth's hidden military might had sent shockwaves through the galactic community, and now every power and faction in the galaxy would be scrambling to respond. The first to break the silence was the Saurian delegate, its reptilian features twisted in a snarl of anger and disbelief. "This is an outrage," it hissed, its forked tongue flicking out in agitation. "The human upstarts have been deceiving us all along, hiding their true strength behind a facade of weakness and compliance." Talia met the Saurian's accusatory gaze with a calm, level stare. "Earth has deceived no one," she said, her voice clear and firm. "We simply chose to develop our capabilities in secret, knowing that there were those in the galaxy who would seek to stifle or exploit them for their own gain. The Borodon delegate, a portly creature with a shrewd, calculating gaze, leaned forward in its seat. "And what guarantee do we have that Earth will not use this newfound might to impose its own will upon the galaxy, as the Kryn sought to do?" Talia shook her head. "Earth seeks no conquest, no domination. Our only goal is to defend the innocent and protect the principles of freedom and self-determination that the Galactic Council was founded upon." As the debate raged on, Talia found herself fending off a barrage of questions and accusations from all sides. Some delegates demanded that Earth share its technological secrets with the rest of the galaxy, while others insisted that humanity's military capabilities be placed under Council oversight and control. Through it all, Talia held firm, her resolve bolstered by the knowledge that Earth had proved its worth on the field of battle. She knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, fraught with political maneuvering and backroom deals. But she also knew that Earth had earned its place at the galactic table, and she would not let that hard-won respect be eroded by fear or jealousy. As the council session finally adjourned, Talia found herself approached by the X-20H delegate, a tall, spindly creature with an air of quiet intensity. "Ambassador Moore," it said, its voice a soft, sibilant whisper. "A word, if you please." Talia nodded, feeling a flicker of unease. The X-20H were known for their cunning and their ruthless pursuit of their own interests, and she knew that any overture from them was not to be taken lightly. The X-20H led her to a secluded alcove, its dark eyes glittering in the dim light. "Your people have made quite an impression today," it said, its tone almost admiring. "The Kryn were one of the most feared powers in the galaxy, and you defeated them with ease." Talia inclined her head, acknowledging the compliment. "We did what was necessary to protect the innocent and uphold the principles of the Council." The X-20H made a soft, clicking sound that might have been laughter. "Of course. But you must know that there are many in the galaxy who will seek to acquire your technology and secrets for themselves. The Kryn were not the only ones with designs on conquest and domination." Talia's eyes narrowed. "Is that a threat?" The X-20H shook its head. "No, Ambassador. It is merely an observation. And perhaps, an opportunity." It leaned closer, its voice dropping to a whisper. "The X-20H have always been pragmatists, Ambassador. We recognize power when we see it, and we seek to align ourselves with those who wield it wisely. Your people have shown that you are a force to be reckoned with, and we would be foolish to make an enemy of you." Talia felt a flicker of surprise at the X-20H's words. An alliance with the enigmatic species could be a powerful asset in the tumultuous times ahead. But she also knew that the X-20H were notoriously fickle in their loyalties, and any pact with them would have to be approached with caution. "I will convey your offer to my government," she said carefully. "But Earth has always valued its independence and autonomy. We will not be beholden to any one power or faction." The X-20H inclined its head, a glimmer of respect in its eyes. "Of course, Ambassador. We would expect nothing less from a species of such strength and resolve." As Talia took her leave of the X-20H delegate, her mind raced with the implications of the encounter. The galactic landscape was shifting rapidly, and Earth would need to navigate it with care and cunning if it hoped to emerge unscathed. But even as the weight of responsibility settled on her shoulders, Talia couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and hope. Earth had proven itself on the galactic stage, not just as a military power, but as a beacon of justice and integrity. And with allies like the Zorax and the X-20H at its side, there was no limit to what humanity could achieve. The road ahead would be long and treacherous, but Talia knew that Earth would face it with the same courage, determination, and unity that had carried them to victory at Zorax Prime. The galaxy had been forever changed by the events of that fateful battle, and Earth would be at the forefront of shaping its future. As she strode through the halls of the council building, her head held high, Talia felt a renewed sense of purpose and resolve. The revelation of Earth's secret fleet had been just the beginning. Now, the real work of building a better, brighter future for all the peoples of the galaxy could begin. And with the strength and wisdom of humanity to guide it, there was no limit to what that future could hold. The New Galactic Order. In the weeks following the Battle of Zorax Prime, Admiral Jace Hammond found himself at the center of a diplomatic whirlwind. As the commander of Earth's victorious fleet, he was suddenly in high demand among the galactic community, with countless worlds and factions seeking to forge alliances and gain favor with the rising power of humanity. For Jace, it was a dizzying and sometimes overwhelming experience. He was a soldier, not a politician, and the intricacies of galactic diplomacy often left him feeling out of his depth. But he knew that the alliances he forged now could shape the course of human history for generations to come, and so he threw himself into the task with characteristic determination and resolve. His first priority was to solidify Earth's nascent alliance with the Zorax. In the heat of battle, the two species had forged a bond of trust and mutual respect that Jace knew could form the bedrock of a lasting partnership. He met with Zorax leaders and diplomats, hammering out the details of trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and joint military exercises. The Zorax, for their part, were eager to embrace their new allies. They saw in humanity a kindred spirit, a species that valued honor, courage, and self-sacrifice above all else. And they knew that with Earth's military might at their side, they need never again fear the depredations of the Kryn or any other would-be conqueror. But even as Jace worked to build bridges with the Zorax and other friendly powers, he knew that not everyone in the galaxy was so welcoming of Earth's newfound prominence. The Saurian Confederacy in particular had emerged as a vocal critic of humanity, decrying Earth's reckless and destabilizing actions at Zorax Prime. In the halls of the Galactic Council, Saurian delegates railed against what they saw as human arrogance and aggression, warning that Earth's unchecked rise could lead to a new era of conflict and chaos in the galaxy. They found a receptive audience among those species that had long resented humanity's rapid ascent and sought to contain its growing influence. For Talia Moore, Earth's ambassador to the Council, these criticisms were a constant challenge. She spent long hours in closed-door meetings and public debates, working to counter the Saurian narrative and build support for Earth's vision of a more just and peaceful galactic order. It was a task made all the more difficult by the web of intrigue and suspicion that seemed to permeate every level of galactic politics. Talia knew that there were factions within the Council that sought to undermine Earth's position for their own gain, whether through espionage, sabotage, or outright aggression. She had to be constantly on guard against these threats, relying on her own wits and the support of her allies to navigate the treacherous waters of galactic diplomacy. And all the while, she knew that the specter of war was never far from the horizon. For even as Earth worked to build a new order based on cooperation and mutual respect, there were those in the galaxy who saw conflict as inevitable, and even desirable. The Kryn, though defeated at Zorax Prime, had not abandoned their dreams of conquest and domination. And there were whispers of other, even more ruthless powers lurking in the shadows, biding their time until the moment was right to strike. As Talia worked tirelessly to keep these threats at bay, she found herself increasingly relying on the support and counsel of Admiral Hammond. The two had forged a close working relationship in the aftermath of Zorax Prime, and Talia had come to appreciate the Admiral's blunt honesty and unwavering sense of duty. Together, they worked to steer Earth through the treacherous currents of galactic politics, forging alliances where they could and standing firm against those who would seek to undermine humanity's hard-won position. And slowly but surely, they began to see the fruits of their labors take shape. The XYTH, true to their word, emerged as valuable allies, using their vast intelligence network to keep Earth apprised of the latest developments and potential threats in the galaxy. The Borodon, ever eager to profit from the changing balance of power, opened new trade routes and commercial opportunities to human businesses and entrepreneurs. And even some of Earth's erstwhile critics began to come around, grudgingly acknowledging humanity's role in preserving galactic stability and security. The Chular, long known for their isolationist tendencies, surprised many by reaching out to Earth with an offer of limited cooperation, recognizing that the galaxy had become too interconnected for any one species to stand alone. Through it all, Jace and Talia remained steadfast in their commitment to Earth's ideals and values. They knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, fraught with challenges and setbacks. But they also knew that humanity had a unique opportunity to shape the future of the galaxy for generations to come, and they were determined to make the most of it. As Talia stood on the observation deck of the Galactic Council building, gazing out at the glittering expanse of the galactic capital, she felt a sense of hope and possibility that she had never known before. Earth had come so far in such a short time, from a backwater world on the fringes of the galaxy to a rising power that commanded respect and admiration from all corners of the cosmos. And yet, she knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast and filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagining, and humanity's journey was just starting. But with the strength and resolve of their convictions, the support of their allies, and the unbreakable spirit that had carried them this far, Talia knew that there was no limit to what they could achieve. The pride of soul had drawn a line in the stars, and in doing so, had forever changed the course of galactic history. And as Talia looked to the future, she knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, humanity would face them with courage, unity, and an unwavering commitment to the ideals that had made them who they were. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was a future worth fighting for.